Goldipops Academy.
Welcome back to Goldipops Academy. In our previous videos, we discussed one-to-one correspondence and the 5 principles of counting. To continue the discussion, we invited a special guest, Dr. Lowe, an educator whose work focuses on learning and teaching in early years. She joins us to talk about a picture book she created, Having Fun Counting with Anton the Ant, which helps young children understand counting in a meaningful way. Welcome, Dr. Lowe.
Thank you, Dr. Goldie. I'm very glad to be here.
Dr. Lowe, from your experience in early childhood education, why do young children often find counting more difficult than adults expect?
Counting may look simple, but it actually involves several ideas working together. Children must coordinate pointing and saying number words. Use the number sequence in a stable order. Understand that the last number tells how many. Know that different kinds of things can be counted, and realize that the arrangement of objects does not change the total. Because all these ideas develop gradually, counting is more complex for children than adults usually expect.
If we see children making mistakes in counting, how can we correct them effectively?
Instead of simply telling children that they are wrong, we should try to understand which idea is not yet developed. Many common mistakes can be explained by the 5 principles of counting proposed by Professor Gelman and Professor Gallistel. Let us look at 2 typical cases.
All right, let's do that. In this case, the child is counting several blocks. At first, the child says, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has omitted the number 4 in his counting sequence, and he has also counted 1 block twice. Because the child has been told that he made a mistake in counting, he looks confused. Then he starts counting again from the beginning, but he still does not feel certain about the total number of blocks.
In this example, the child has made 3 counting errors. First, the child has said the number words in the wrong order. The number 4 is skipped, so the counting sequence is not correct. This means the child does not yet understand the stable order principle, which requires the number words to be used in a fixed and reliable sequence. Second, the child has difficulty keeping track of the blocks while counting. Each block should match one and only one number word, but young children sometimes lose track when they try to point and count at the same time. This suggests that the child is still developing the 1-1 principle. Third, the child has not realized that the final number counted does not equal the total number in the set. This tells us that the child does not yet understand the cardinal principle, which means the last number counted represents how many blocks there are altogether. To help, adults can guide children to touch each block while counting, say the number words slowly in the correct order, and then clearly state the total at the end. With practice, children gradually learn to keep the number sequence, match each block once, and understand that the last number tells how many in all.
I see. That makes a lot of sense. Shall we look at another example?
Yes, let's look at another case to see a different kind of counting difficulty.
Here is another situation. The child can count a row of identical blocks correctly, but when the blocks are spread farther apart, the child thinks there are more. The child also becomes unsure when counting blocks of different colors and shapes together.
This case shows 2 different difficulties in counting. First, the child thinks that there are more blocks when the same blocks are spread farther apart. This indicates that the child does not yet understand the order irrelevance principle, which means the total number does not change when the objects are rearranged, spaced differently, or counted in a different order. Young children often believe that a longer row means a larger number, even when the number of blocks is actually the same. This difficulty is closely related to the idea of conservation of number, which is a cognitive and logical ability in child development. This mathematical idea was first identified by the developmental psychologist Piaget. His research showed that young children sometimes judge quantity by perceptual features such as length or spacing, before they develop the logical understanding that the number remains the same even when the arrangement changes. Second, the child becomes unsure when counting blocks of different colors and shapes together. This suggests that the child has not yet fully understood the abstraction principle. The abstraction principle means that anything can be counted, not only objects that look the same. We should let children know that we can count blocks of different colors and sizes together, and we can also count different kinds of toys together. With more varied counting experiences, children gradually learn that numbers describe how many there are, not what the objects look like, and not how they are arranged.
That's very helpful. So once we understand the reason behind the mistake, we can support children much more effectively.
Yes. When teachers and parents know which idea is still developing, they can give the right kind of support instead of asking children to repeat counting again and again.
Speaking of helping children learn, we know that you created a picture book related to counting. How did you design the story based on these principles?
In Having Fun Counting with Anton the Ant, the story follows Anton during a picnic day. He counts honey candies, sandwiches, steps, birds, and stars in different situations. Each part of the story is designed based on the 5 principles of counting, so that parents and teachers can guide young children to practice these ideas in a natural and playful way. For example, when Anton counts the honey candies, children can see one-to-one matching, as he uses one number word for each candy he counts. When Anton counts the 10 running steps, he follows a stable order and does not skip any in the counting sequence. When the total number of sandwiches is stated at the end, children learn that the final number counted represents the total number in the set. Children can also see that a total of 20 stars can be counted in any order, as long as each star is counted once. And when Anton counts birds of different colors together, children learn that different kinds of objects can all be counted. In addition to the book, I also created 4 original songs based on the story. These nursery rhymes help children remember the number sequence and make counting more enjoyable.
That sounds wonderful. Dr. Lowe, how can we use your picture book to help young children learn counting correctly?
When reading the story, adults can pause and invite children to count the objects again. They can ask children to touch each object while counting. They can check the number order together. After counting, they should ask how many there are in all. They can also let children count different things, such as sounds, steps, or mixed objects. And they can count the same objects again after rearranging them. The book can also be used as a starting point for hands-on activities, helping children learn counting in meaningful situations.
Those are very useful suggestions. Based on your experience in teacher preparation at the university, what practical advice would you give to preschool teachers?
First, make sure each object matches one number word. Second, help children keep the number words in the correct order. Third, always emphasize the total after counting. Fourth, give children chances to count many different kinds of things. Fifth, show that the total does not change when the arrangement changes. Most importantly, make counting enjoyable. Stories, songs, and everyday activities help children learn much better than long drills.
That's excellent advice. Any final words for our viewers?
Counting is the foundation of later mathematics learning. When children understand counting well, they are better prepared for many other mathematical ideas. Parents and teachers can use stories, songs, and daily activities to help children learn in a natural and enjoyable way.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lowe. We've learned a lot today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Goldie Pops Academy and check out our previous videos. See you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.